Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality. How are you all, wherever you are in the world when you're watching? A huge shout out to you. Thank you all for your kindness and thoughtfulness and your support of this channel. Wowee, I have been watching on the Democratic Party convention, watching here from Australia, and I think you would have to be made of stone if you weren't moved by that convention in so many ways. The astrology that I looked at before then suggested that if authenticity was there, if we didn't go back to the kinds of politics of the past, if we presented something new, the Democratic convention would be successful. And indeed it was. It's all about the future. I don't even know where to start to list what my favourites were, and you will all have your favourite moments, and it's still ongoing. We've yet to see, in fact I haven't checked this morning, but we've still got day 3 program coming up. Thank you to all those who have sent me a list of who's speaking when. Okay, so where to start? Mercury retrograde. I've long thought that we overestimate Mercury retrograde's trouble and strife. Indeed, it can cause trouble, but I think it's sort of been, I don't know, it's become a myth almost, Mercury retrograde. I always look at retrograde planets as a chance to go over old, the past, where we have not quite got the lesson, we get further lessons so that we finally get the message, like talking to somebody and they're not listening, and then you have to say something again and they finally get the point. Where do we see Mercury retrograde manifest? Well, I think most notably President Biden. The program was running late on day 1, and President Biden unfortunately didn't speak till I think it was about 11 p.m. at night. Did that matter? Not really, no. I mean, that whole auditorium, the way that they showed that gratitude, and I often talk about gratitude on this channel, and that it's a very powerful manifestation for the future. And I don't think that President Biden is part of the past. I feel he's part of the future, because guess what? His name goes into the history books as one of the most successful presidents, one-term presidents, maybe the most. But anyway, he's accomplished an incredible amount, and that room just reflected that. It was really, I still think that Biden timed his exit to do the most damage to Trump. And that's also a reflection of his political experience. And if there's one thing that Joe Biden knows about, that's political timing. Look at everything he set in motion. So, yeah, that was, I don't think really mattered. The other thing there was some reporting around a cyber attack on the DNC convention. Again, that wasn't too much of a concern. Old data from the Washington and Idaho conferences was leaked. I mean, no cyber attack is going to be good, but I think the Democratic Party were actually playing it down. I've got a few of my favourite things on today. You all like the scarf. You all like the rose pink. So here I am. In them today. It's still quite cold here. We are on the tail end of winter, and the temperatures, there's a slight change, but it's still very cold. Okay, let's go to the convention. We've got a big program to get through today in the readings. What was my favourite quotes? I mean, there were so many of them. Yes, I saw the orb like a little star, but I think Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Michelle, the Obamas brought it. There could be no doubt about that. But here is one of the quotes that I really liked. She said she understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth. And that really cut right through for the crowd and for me as well. Who was she talking about there? She was talking about Trump. The other quote I loved was Obama's characterization, very true characterization. 78-year-old billionaire coming down the gold escalators, hasn't stopped whining since then. And what's this thing with his small crowds? Now, I don't know why people haven't picked up on the stupid hand gestures that that Trump does. It's absolutely, well, it's annoying and it's just stupid. I know what Obama meant, and it was, it was humorous. But it was good that he drew his attention, and you'll see other people drawing their attention to that as well. I mean, at least there was humour. Okay, it was satire, it was humorous. He didn't go out and denigrate, you know, Trump's hair or his name or his whatever. It was kind of like a roast, in other words. But so many beautiful moments. From watching on from Australia, one of the, you know, coolest things that I saw was the roll call. I mean, it was just incredible. I mean, I just got to see the ethos or the vibe of each of the states, and as they cast their votes for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, it was the ticket. It was just, you know, for New Jersey, we got the DJ played Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. Georgia brought a rapper down the stairs. I mean, and what happens next year? Well, the next time they hold their convention, you know, what are we going to be entertained by there? Just so many great moments. There was authenticity on there, on display. That was one of the things I talked about, that they really needed to be authentic. I think they were. I think the Democratic convention was absolutely, you know, there are things which define success. And I think you saw many indicators of success so far, and we've still got, as I said, still got more to come. We talked about the full moon in Aquarius in my last reading. I just want to throw some cards on the new moon in Virgo on September the 3rd, because what are we going to see post-convention? What happens then? I think that the energy goes to work in a very comfortable way, where fear and worry and rolling the sleeves up and getting the job done, that's what I think is coming next from the Democratic Party point of view. What's coming next for Trump? I don't know. For the GOP, he's extremely lethargic, low energy. We've talked about his health. I still maintain that there's a health problem that we don't know about. But there's also a psychological issue there with him as well. It's almost, if I didn't know better, he looks like depressed. He looks like he doesn't even want to be there. But this is ego with him. This is, you know, seeing the adulation and energy that Vice President Harris is able to bring to her campaign. It means the attention's not on him. And remember, he thrives with attention. But enough of that. Let's draw a quick reading on the new moon in Virgo on September the 3rd. I want to know just what's next. You know, we've seen this momentum. What happens in the next month or two to the Democratic Party campaign? In other news, I want to say that RFK Jr., for those that came on the channel, I don't want to bellyache too much or whine, as Obama says, but I got multiple requests, you know, why aren't you giving him a platform? He's a Democrat, you know, he's an alternative to Biden, yada, yada, yada. Well, the RFK Jr. campaign, I think he's VP running mate, has said that they're now currently working out what to do that will best help Donald Trump's campaign. If they keep going, will that draw votes away from the Democratic Party and then give them to Trump? Or if that's going to hurt, if they're going to draw away from Trump, then maybe they should end their campaign and endorse Trump, because they want to help him. So it's really out there now. RFK Jr. was there to assist, to help Trump, and particularly with Biden. when Biden, the political equation was different then, but now there are new candidates. His RFK's vote is just tanking. I think it's almost zero. Well, I don't know what it is, but it's very low. So there you have it. Let's not forget he approached both candidates for a job in their cabinet, and Kamala Harris said no. I think she didn't think she even took his call, and then he approached Trump, and Trump's open to putting RFK Jr., and I should say AKA worm in the brain, killing whatever he did to the bear cub and burying it in a New York park. I mean, he's open to to giving him an advisory position as well as Elon Musk. I mean, really? Okay, so let's look at the new energy. I also want to know, will the timelines, deadlines be adhered to around state certification and seating of the new House, and then the ceremonial counting of the electoral votes presided over by the VP on January the 6th. Will those timelines be adhered to, or will any of them be delayed? Will Georgia deliver its certified electoral college votes on time? I suspect maybe not. And I want to go to the Middle East. I said it looked like there was a deal. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken announced that Netanyahu had accepted the interim, some kind of transitional bridge to the ceasefire, but Hamas was holding out. When I looked at it again that may have been the positivity I picked up, but when I looked at it this morning, it seems further away than ever. And so let's see about that. I also want to know what deal Netanyahu, it's actually coming out, I think I read very shortly after October the 7th, in October, and I said there's a Trump-Jared Kushner connection here, and it could be that this war is designed to split the Democratic Party as well as other aims, and we saw an axis between Putin, Netanyahu and Trump. It's now mainstream reporting that Netanyahu and Trump may have cooked up some sort of deal to prolong the war in the Middle East, and it just shows you how evil these people actually are when you look at what's happening in Gaza. I wish to goodness that Mehdi Hassan would take up these aspects. That would be good. Okay. Great reporter. Absolutely great reporter. But I'd like to see him investigate, as an investigative journalist, come and look at exactly what's gone on between Netanyahu and Trump. Okay, so let's have a look. We'll draw a couple of oracle cards on the new moon, and we'll get started here. New moon in Virgo coming up on September the 3rd. Given that new moon, what is in store now for the Democratic Party campaign, for the Harris-Walsh ticket? Can they maintain the momentum? Can the Harris-Walsh ticket maintain the momentum? Can the Harris-Walsh ticket maintain the momentum? I feel they're going to be holding a lot of meetings, because I'm just seeing a room where, like a meeting room, quite a large meeting room. I think they're meeting with a lot of grassroots groups, maybe for endorsements, maybe to... It's kind of the way they're going to be campaigning. It's like really rolling up the sleeves and getting down... they don't need to do mainstream interviews. Mainstream legacy media is severely crippled, and unless it finds a new way forward, it's just seeing its market share dissolving as people follow individual podcasters, independent media channels. Yeah, and they've brought that upon themselves. But anyway, Harris and Walsh seem to be concentrating at the grassroots level, going state to state. I'm just seeing these meeting rooms, getting various groups on board at the even regional level. Okay, working hard. All right, can Harris-Walsh maintain this momentum? What's coming up? What's the future here for this campaign as we finish with the convention? What's the future All right, Dust Devil moving out of stagnation. Seems to me that the momentum seems to be continuing. Okay, Dust Devil moving out of stagnation. Can they maintain the momentum? And we have in the hand, the universe is your partner. Oh, good God. It's the heart that they're triggering, and then dances on one foot, the balancing act. These are perfect cards. I don't need to go any further. We have moving out of stagnation, and I think you caught that at the Democratic Party convention. I think it was Michelle Obama who said, there's an energy, you can feel it, and you've got hope. And I think that's it. There's an energy change. Certainly for me as a reader, I can feel the energy change. I talked about that very early before Harris had even been had even been ratified as the candidate. This was just after, I think my first reading after Biden after I had predicted he would resign. He kept, you can listen to all this conjecture. He timed this perfectly. He was in on it, and so was Harris in the way that this was timed. Very, very, very clever. In the hand, the universe is your partner. This is the kind of indicators of success that I was talking about. It's in a spiritual sense, not a material success. It's a universal type of success here. You can see the heart there, the golden light, and then the universe. This is heart. This is coming from the heart. That's what defines authenticity. You see hatred from the heart, you can believe it's hatred. You see love coming from the heart, you can believe that that's love. Okay, they will have to do a balancing act. No two ways about it. There's some dirt that's being flung. They're going after Walsh, which is very disappointing because he's a bit of a larrikin in many ways. It's just they're going after him for things that what's the difference between IUI and IVF? I mean, not a lot. It's artificial insemination. Sorry to get graphic, but he went to Italy and trained troops. He didn't, that was his role as a sergeant major. Like it's like, yeah. Anyway, they're trying to throw enough mud, not actually working. Teachability, hollow bone, teachability. I think there's a lot of lessons for everybody at this time. And heart, home, compassion. Heart, home, compassion. It's all about the heart. You heard Stephanie Grisham. I've seen her speak a lot, but I think she spoke incredibly well at the convention. Say that line that we remembered, Donald Trump has no empathy. And so this is the contrast. Maybe hard-headed political pundits can't quite grasp this because it's not measurable, but it is. This campaign is successful. Base of the pack, bold step forward, and this is why I think Joe Biden is and was and is and will be a part of that bold step forward. Okay. Let's go and get through as much as we can in the time that we've got. Okay. The new house will be seated on January the 3rd, or supposedly. January 6th, ceremonial counting of electoral college votes presided over by the VP. The two houses separate. The new House Speaker is the Speaker as the objections are heard in the House. Similarly in the Senate, then they come back and they look at those objections together. It is largely a ceremonial role. But let's have a look. Will any of these timelines, including state certification, will any of these timelines, so there is a very tight timeline, and you can go to, I'll leave a link to something I found below, you can go and have a look for yourself and get fully informed. Will any of these timelines be delayed? Because I don't see the congressional electoral college counting as a issue, not like it was in 2020. I see certification at the state level, and I said that months and months ago, and I think that's where the trouble is going to be. Okay, will any of the electoral college, congressional, state certification timelines be delayed? Will any of these timelines be delayed? I think there's many states gathering under the dome, if you want to look at it, to look at the processes that will slow things down. Okay, Seven of Swords, lies and deceit. There you have it. There you have it. I go to Georgia. You know, if they can just get those swing states to disrupt the protests, then those timelines get delayed. And the death card. Okay, the end. But look here, the end of lies and deceit. And of course, it's all fought up in the courts. Harris campaign has hired democracy docket. Brilliant lawyer Mark Elias put him on their team. They're prepared for all of this. Yes, there's going to be lies around what should be a ministerial type of process in counting votes. There's going to be lies there. But with this death card here, it looks like the end of lies. So that's interesting. The Hierophant card, yeah, the courts are at the foundation of this. Okay. The Three of Swords is in the past. I'm glad that's in the past. The Fool card, new starts, is in the sky. I'm liking this energy. It's like, I don't know their chance, but will they be delayed? Seven of Wands, yeah, they're going to have to fight it out in the courts. Absolutely, that's very clear here. The Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. Paying off loans and debts. Don't be surprised if there will be stories come out about people being paid to do some nefarious things, okay? That's here as well. The Queen of Pentacles, national security, stability. Okay, and the hopes and fears, the volatility of the Moon card here. Yeah, it's and then we get the King of Wands. Yes, that's a yes card. It could be delay getting both of those timelines. State certification. It's involving lawmakers. And also seating the new House, and of course the joint congressional session to count the electoral votes. Walking away, loss from what no longer serves us, and justice. It'll be sorted out by the courts. And the Five of Swords, there's an abuse of power here. Yes and no. So it's not every state, but some states are going to delay this. We're looking at a mixed bag. Many states will be on time, but there will be some states that won't be, and that because of protracted law battles and lies and deceit. Okay, so I don't know what happens if there's a delay. I guess it's a constitutional crisis. And the Seven of Cups, illusion and delusion and lies. Well, yeah, that's their game plan. Two of Wands, something coming to fruition in time. And we get loss, really heavy loss. Let's see if it's Georgia. Georgia with their new electoral board laws, made up laws that don't define reasonable. And then, of course, automatically throw it to the courts to define reasonable. And so maybe their game plan is delay. Why? To send it to the Supreme Court. Now, I've already said the Supreme Court is not going to throw an election to Trump if he didn't win it. Okay, not even they could get away with that. All right, remembering that Biden is still the president, maybe he has to save the democracy another time. It'd be different if Trump was president, but he's not. Biden is. He's the commander-in-chief up until inauguration, and if that inauguration doesn't occur, anyway, let's take a look. Well, Georgia, I hope that this is, anyway. Will Georgia delay their state certification at the state level? Will Georgia delay certification at the state level? So we get the King of Swords, planning and strategy, and we get the Six of Pentacles, giving help to somebody. We get the Ace of Swords, the truth. The past is the world, endings and beginnings. In the sky, we've got the Page of Wands. It doesn't seem like it's going to work in a big way. And we get the Nine of Wands, boundaries and guardrails. They're certainly going to have a try at it. Four of Swords in the present. That's retreat, loss. The Eight of Swords, paranoia. Ew. Really not nice energy there at this time. We get the Queen of Wands, that's Harris in the hopes, but also the fears. And we get the Spy in the camp, gossip, idle gossip. It's going to make it difficult. Ten of Wands carrying the heavy load. It's going to make, and then the Six of Wands, victory. Yeah, they are. There's Trump there at the bottom of the pack. And then the Tower. Yeah. You watch for Georgia. I know it goes without saying that they're the state where the trouble's going to be, but these cards certainly say that there will be trouble there. Okay, Queen of Swords, the voter, and then the Chariot, things moving very quickly, disappointment, something coming to fruition in time, and it goes on and on and on. The High Priestess, yeah. Okay, it's counting of, I don't know if it's in. Anyway, it's in Georgia that the issues occur. Okay. All right. I'm assuming if they're meeting under the dome, are other states taking a leaf? Other red states taking a leaf out of? Out of Georgia's book. All right. Let's look at, okay, will this be resolved? If the deadlines are pushed back, will this be resolved? Will this be resolved? Will this be resolved in Vice President Harris's favour? Will Vice President Harris be inaugurated on or after? Is it January the 20th, 21st, 20th? Will she be inaugurated on or after that date? The inauguration date. Harris. Ace of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. The voter is at the foundation of the reading. So we get the Ace of Pentacles is the seeds of a new start, and we get the Ten of Swords, the ending of an old cycle. This can be downfall as well, but in this case it's connected with the new, not the old, and because we have the voter at the base of this pack, it's like a fair election has held death. This is all about goodbye to the past. What did that guy do? Night, night, Trump. This is about Two of Cups. Okay, that's lovely. That's contracts. The King of Cups. That's my card for President Biden. We have the Five of Pentacles in the here and now. I think this is a fairly, I guess the biggest fear of the voters, is the electoral college process, the certification processes. Ace of Cups, there's the new here. Gee whiz, a lot of people. The bigger the result, the better it will be. The Three of Pentacles working together. There's a lot of people on this job. And then we get the Five of Cups. So, 3 cups lost, 2 remaining. It's not going to be easy. Manifestation, the Magician, and the Seven of Cups. Okay. All right. And then there's Trump here. The Truth. The Knight of Pentacles, consistency. Let's pull some clarifiers. These are terrible cards. I talked about rockiness. All right, and it seems to be that there's illusion. It's like a form of. I'm very hot. Actually, I'm going to have to take off some of these winter woolies. It's like a form of stop the steal, is what I'm seeing here. And there's it's a manifestation of illusion and delusion. What comes after Trump? Lies. Oh my God. Oh my God. So here's what's happening here. When she's inaugurated, they're just going to lie and say that she didn't win fairly. Oh God. Okay, manipulation, weighing up one's options. And then we get the high priest, the high court, and then we get karma. Kamala. Okay, so I don't know what's happening here, but it's like it's the delay. It's the delay and the deceit. Okay, will she eventually be declared the president? Will VP Harris eventually be declared the president? I can just see such a Seven of Rods. Yeah, it's almost like the Supreme Court has got to justice. It's like the Supreme Court has got to declare her the winner. And it's such a volatile process. Oh my goodness me. But we get the Wheel of Fortune here. So far 3 major arcanas and the Fool card. Bringing the laptop down so you can see this. Spirit wants you to know this is so diabolical that it's reflected here in the cards. And it's like the Supreme Court has got to say, you're the winner. And in many ways. So we get having to defend oneself. We get the Justice card, the volatility of the moon, the Wheel of Fortune, fortune changing, and then we get the new start. So hang on. They're yes cards, 4 yeses there, 4 clear yeses, 3 clear, definite major arcana yeses. So hang on to your hats. And we just get another, there's a team working on it. And then we get crossroads. This is a real crossroads. And I guess the last gasps of somebody like Trump and the MAGAs are going to be pretty painful. But I know I keep saying that this is going to be rocky. I know many people are saying this is going to be rocky, but I just want to prepare you to have faith, because justice is coming. Remember, she's a Libran. And new starts are coming as well. And the cycle is changing. Okay, so no matter how difficult it gets, that's what's going to happen. It's almost as if, that inauguration date comes and goes. And then the Supreme Court is still ongoing. And then the Supreme Court finally says, yes, she did win. It's just so terrible, isn't it, that this could occur. But anyway, this time, say by, I don't know, this early next year, you'll have her as the president, and it won't be Donald Trump. I keep saying that. All right, so let's have one more question on the Middle East. So, I mean, for a moment there, I was very confident. And I thought, yep, my reading was correct. And then I started to look and I thought, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. Can all parties agree to the ceasefire? Disease, more innocent people dying. And let me just say that there's no love for Hamas in the Palestinian community, in Gaza. Okay, can all parties agree on the ceasefire? Can all parties agree on the ceasefire? Can we see a ceasefire deal this before Christmas? God, can we see a ceasefire deal? Can all parties agree on an interim, even if it's transitionary? Can we get agreement on the transitionary ceasefire? The 8 of Pentacles, we're working on it. 10 of Cups, the families. The 5 of Wands at the foundation of the reading, no real agreement, tug of war. The 2 of Pentacles, weighing up the options. The Page of Cups, surprises here. And the immediate future, death. which would be, more death there. We get the Queen of Pentacles in the here and now, stability. And we get the Seven of Pentacles manifesting plan B. We get justice. Let's not forget how serious international law is. It's an illegal occupation of Gaza and of the West Bank, and governments who support Israel are now being warned that they're breaking international law. The Page of Swords, that's sort of like King of Cups. There's Biden. And then we get the Wheel of Fortune, change. And then we get the Heartbreak again. So, Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and the Fool card. What comes after the Wheel of Fortune? The Five of Swords, abuse. And then we get the Knight of Wands, something moving very quickly. But then we get, you see the energy? It's just forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Can you show me clearly? Transitionary ceasefire, any sort of ceasefire before Christmas, any sort of ceasefire before Christmas, justice. We're talking about the International Court. Oh, God. Any sort of ceasefire before Christmas. Page of Wands, short, the past. The Knight of Swords, the truth. And the Five of Rods, the fighting. And then we get the Ten of Cups, the families. And then we get the Page of Pentacles. Perhaps a short, and the Four of Wands, celebration and reunion. Queen of Cups. So perhaps perhaps I'm just going to say they probably will eventually come round to some sort of agreement about some sort of ceasefire. But it's forward and it's back and it's forward and it's back. But eventually, and I think it is during Biden's presidency. Okay, so I don't see it's a lasting thing. I think it's this transitionary deal. Okay, they will massage it and eventually accept it. But it's a transitionary thing. It's forward and it's regressive energy at the same time. Okay, let's have a look at what deal was done between Netanyahu and Trump. And this could be at the heart of it, to prolong the Gazan war. Was there a deal by Netanyahu and Trump to prolong the Gazan war? Was there a deal by Netanyahu and Trump to prolong the Gazan war? Was there a deal? I'm seeing a whole table full of downturned cups. And there's a space in the middle here. What is this? Was there a deal done between Netanyahu and Trump for when he became the presidency, or in any way to prolong the war in Gaza? This is why it's forward and it's backward energy. Queen of Swords, we get planning and strategizing, and then we get the Knight of Wands, moving at great speed. Harris brings another dimension to all this. Ten of Wands, the ending of a cycle. The past, we get the Wheel of Fortune. So far I've got 3 yeses, 1 not really, or 1 no and 3 yeses, if you're looking at it like that. We get the Nine of Swords, anxiety is crowning this reading, and the Four of Pentacles, holding out for something. We get karma in the here and now, which is judgment. In this deck, I'm using the Witch's Tarot. The Page of Pentacles in the atmosphere around. Of course, there's always money here. It's inevitable. What this is saying is it was inevitable that there was money involved here. Loans and debt, who's helping who in the hopes and fears. And then we get the Ace of Cups, creating that emotional overflow. There is Trump. Oh my God. And there is the plan. Oh my goodness me. Oh, it was like a wish fulfillment here. I haven't seen in the outcome such strong... Both are pretty anxious about how this has all gone down, though. They're anxious because Harris is there. And it's not Biden, it's Harris. And so Netanyahu's calculations are changing. Here's the outcome card. The Ace of Cups, the Lovers card, the deal, the plan, the Ace of Wands, and this is a gift. There's the cups. All the cups were turned over and now they're upright, and the card is the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. There's the cup in the middle. Here's the cup in the middle. Yes. So come on, investigative journalists, get after it, because there was absolutely a deal to prolong, not to settle, in order to help Trump get elected. Think about it. Think about that for one moment. Stop being played for the fools or suckers that you can't see that, because it is absolutely, I'm certain of it. All right then, bye for now.